Frankly, we have known this for about an hour, that we believed Melissa Hortman and her husband had both been shot and killed.
Wow,
but we were waiting for confirmation on that, which we believe is going to come in the news conference when
I think
that
right now we're going to head right into the news conference. Thank you.
Oh my God. Melissa Herdman and her husband and their dog were both killed by this insanity. You sons of a bitches! What's wrong with you? Oh my God. This is just horrible. I wish I could flip my screen. I can't believe this.
Just joining us again, we thank you for being here. We have devastating news to report this morning that House Speaker Emerita Hortman was shot and killed overnight, and then also Senator John Hoffman and his wife shot but in surgery this morning. So we're waking up to this news as you are and working to learn more at a press conference that's about to start.
Yeah, Tom Hauser is here and he's been breaking these details for us. Just the awful.
And Senator Murphy, the majority leader, DFL majority leader, has notified all of the state senators, and a state senator has shared that memo with me. She goes on to say that the suspect is still at large.
Fucking mega lunatic!
There will be a law enforcement press conference at 9:30, which it's now 9:46, and still waiting to hear. And I'll keep an eye on that door. If I see somebody who I know to be Commissioner Jacobson or the governor coming through, I will let you know. But again, just to repeat, Speaker Emerita, Melissa Hortman and her husband are both dead. We see law enforcement now filing in. There's Teddy Tashan, there is Governor Walz, and Secretary, is that Secretary? No, that's the BCA Commissioner Limbachi.
Thank you for being here. In a moment, you'll hear from law enforcement officials who will share with you what they can as up-to-minute update on the situation here in Minnesota. You're going to be joined by Commissioner Bob Jacobson, BCA Superintendent Drew Evans, State Patrol Colonel Christina Bogoyevich, Champlain Park Police Chief Snyder, and Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley, as well as the Mayor of Brooklyn Park. We're here today because an unspeakable tragedy has unfolded in Minnesota. My good friend and colleague, Speaker Melissa Hortman, and her husband Mark were shot and killed early this morning in what appears to be a politically motivated assassination. Our state lost a great leader, and I lost the dearest of friends. Speaker Hortman was someone who served the people of Minnesota with grace, compassion, humor, and a sense of service. She was a formidable public servant, a fixture and a giant in Minnesota. She woke up every day determined to make this state a better place. She is irreplaceable, and we've been missed by so many. Minnesota's thoughts and prayers are with her family, her loved ones, her children, and her parents. My prayers also go out to State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette, who were each shot multiple times. The Hoffmans are out of surgery at this time and receiving care, and we are cautiously optimistic they will survive this assassination attempt. This was an act of targeted political violence. Peaceful discourse is the foundation of our democracy. We don't settle our differences with violence or at gunpoint. In the state of Minnesota, and as recently as last week, in the most closely divided state legislature in the country, we sat down, we worked things out, we debated, we shook hands and compromised, and we served the state of Minnesota together. We proved that it's possible, even in these politically charged times, to find compromise and adhere to the principles of democracy and civil discourse. We must all Minnesota and across the country stand against all forms of political violence. At this precipice moment we're on, this tragic act here in Minnesota should serve as a reminder to all of us. The democracy and the debates in the halls of Congress, in state houses, in school boards, is a way to settle our differences peacefully and move society to a better place. We're collaborating with all local, state, and federal agencies on a full investigation. We're committed to keeping Minnesotans informed as the situation continues. I assure you that those responsible for this will be held accountable. And each and every one of us are committed to making sure that a tragedy like this never repeats itself in Minnesota or across this country. I'd now like to turn it over to my public safety team to fill you in on the specifics of this ongoing investigation.
Thank you, Governor, and thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Drew Evans, and I'm the superintendent at the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. I want to start by just expressing our deepest sympathies to the communities, the family, the friends, and everybody that cared about the individuals that were gunned down today. When we have individuals like this in our political leadership, they're not only political leaders, but they're members of the community, well-known members of the community, that the tragedy in a situation like this is not only for them, their friends and families, but us collectively, the communities they represent, us as a state of Minnesota as a whole. About 2 a.m. this morning, there was an original call in the city of Champlin where there was an individual that had shot Senator Hoffman and his wife. Police responded to that location. They were dealing with that and working through that process overnight. And then later on, at approximately 3:35, another call came in when it was officers proactively checking because they knew of the incident that occurred, and they were going to check on Speaker Hortman at that time, at which time Brooklyn Park police officers encountered the individual who immediately fired at them, and they exchanged gunfire, and then the individual was able to escape during that exchange of gunfire. At the residence in Champlin, there was life-saving measures that were provided there. Both individuals were transported, as was previously noted, and they both received surgeries for their injuries at the hospital, and their